our Vedas and Shastras are fundamentally preaches us to enlighten our life and its styles. Vedas are like kings, they order us, they command us to do things. But all the Vedas and Shastras instruct us to lead perfect and peaceful life. Our motto is not only we live happily, we have to make others live too happily, blissfully. This is our Indian tradition and culture. We always depend upon the respect given to the guests who come to our house. Atidhi Devo Bhava. This is what our elderly persons and sages taught us from the ancient days to this day. In such Vedas, we can find so many mantras. From the vacuum, the Shabda came out. Shabda, the word Shabda came out from vacuum at the time of creation of this universe. That is called Pranava with the 3 letters A, U, Ma. Most of us do not know what is Omkara and what is mantra. Both are different. Because Omkara is Bijakshara with 3 letters of A, U, Ma. Mantras can be chanted before the deity with minimum customs. Bijakshara is not so easy to recite like mantra, like stotra, like kirtana. Therefore, we have to know the detailed description of Omkara versus mantra. Unless we know the difference between these two, we may be confused. What is the motto of these two? What are the benefits we can acquire by these two of Om and mantra? Therefore, our ancient sages showed us the path, that is, righteous path. We should not deviate even a step from righteous path of the sages showed us. Therefore, we have to get rid of our sins from previous birth or present. There should be need of some remedies in the form of Omkara, chanting Omkara or various mantras. When we know the worth of these two, Omkara versus mantra, then we can easily attain to an exalted place to make our life peaceful. Otherwise, it will go into pieces. Therefore, we are indebted to our ancient sages who preached us Bijaksharas and mantras, and by using this to fructify and get succeed in our life. So, we have to understand the essence of these two. Therefore, today I take the topic of Om versus Mantra. Let us see in detail. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा अविघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Om is called the sound of one hand clapping. Om is eternal sound. Om is a sound which is there in the universe all the time. All the saints in the past, when they went deep into meditation, they just heard Om. So, Om means many things. It means love, eternity, purity, and peace. Om is made up of several dhatus, A, U, Ma, combined as Om. Just A has 19 meanings. You can derive some several thousand meanings from Om. All those meanings are attributed to Om. So, Om is the seed of the whole creation. Om is the sound of creation. In the beginning, there was a word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. That is Om. There they don't say which word, the word is Om. It is in all the religions, in some or the other form. That is a true name, Eka Omkara Sat Nama. Om means truth. It is the name of the infinity or the divinity. It means love. It is the name of infinity or the divinity and origin of the universe. There is a beautiful verse in Guru Granth Sahib which begins with Ek Okar Satnam Kartapurak. From Om everything has come. In Om everything dwells, and into Om everything will dissolve, both matter and consciousness. The best thing is that it is a complete vibration. Om affects the lower part of the body. Om affects the middle part. Ma affects the upper part. The total prana is represented by one syllable Om. Before birth, we were part of that sound, and after that, we will merge with that sound. The sound of the spirit. So, you can say many things about Om. There is a whole Upanishad, the Mandukya Upanishad, which is all about Om. Before meditation, you chant Om and create the vibration. But for meditation, you need different mantras. Just Om is not used. Hari Om or Om Namah Shivaya or something else is used along with Om. That is mantra. Only recluse, those who want to do nothing with the world or are very old are allowed to do chant Om. Even then, it is not advisable. Mantras are self-care tools that can be used at any time and anywhere to hit the reset button. In the mobile, we can have reset button like that. You can use them as tools to help you change habits or ways of being. A mantra can help you ride the emotional roller coaster of stress, sadness, anger, anxiety, or overwhelm. The right mantra can help you focus and tap into your creativity, or it can help you connect more mindfully to your partner, or children, or even yourself. If you have gone to a yoga class that started or ended with a collective Om, then you have already been exposed to mantra practice. Ancient yogis have used the power of mantra for thousands of years as a form of mental training and spiritual practice in order to access higher states of consciousness and deepen intuition. High profile seekers like Apple founder Steve Jobs and artist or singer Tina Turner have also turned to mantra meditation as a way to strengthen inner wisdom and creative power. Now, what is mantra? The word mantra is comprised of the Sanskrit roots man, which means mind, and tra means vehicle or instrument. A mantra then is a vehicle through which you can shift your mental and emotional state. It's an ancient tool that helps you dissipate mental noise and negative thoughts so you can hear your inner wisdom more loudly and clearly. Many ancient mantras have roots in Hindu and Buddhist traditions as well as Jainism. Sanskrit mantras are found in Vedic or Vedanta, sacred sounds and sound vibrations best recited repeatedly to aid in cultivating presence, focus, understanding, and insight. Seed mantras are called bija mantras or short sounds vibrations that are used as a way to fertilize your consciousness and mind. The most common bija mantra is Om. What is not a mantra? While words like I am safe or I am worthy of feeling good are powerful in their own right and are also useful for creating mental and emotional shifts, they are not mantras. They are affirmations. They can certainly be used in conjunction with mantras, but don't confuse one for the other. Intentions like the ones we set at the beginning of a yoga, asana class or yoga nidra meditation session are not mantras, even though it's easy to confuse the two. Common mantras are Om. This sound vibration is said to channel the primordial sound of the universe. It is also the base for other common mantras, as you will see below. Om Mani Padme Hum. The mantra of benevolence and compassion. It means the jewel is in the lotus. Om Namah Shivaya means I bow to Shiva. Shiva is one of the three main Hindu deities. In yoga practice, we use this mantra to help us connect to our true inner self. This self is part of us that's wise and intuitive. Om Shanti 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 means peace, peace, peace. This mantra is an invocation for inner peace, peace of mind, peace in the body, and peaceful speech. That's why 3 times Manasa Vacha Karmana. How do you use mantra? Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. The practice of repeating a mantra either silently or aloud is called japa in yoga practice. Ancient yogis believed that repeating a mantra 108 times amplifies its power. For them, it is like a code for awakening and self realization. Vedic mathematicians considered the number 108 a number representing the wholeness of the universe and spiritual union. You can use mala beads to help you stay present and keep track of the 108 cycles. But it's not a necessary part of mantra meditation. And you don't have to repeat a mantra 108 times to reap its benefits and effects. The main idea is this: keep your mantra practice as simple as possible. Do whatever works best for you. Do whatever easiest to help you practice daily. If, for example, repeating a mantra 3 times works for you, then start there. A special mantra for increasing intuitive and creative powers. The intuitive voice within is real. It's an inherent superpower we have all been gifted with. We have just forgotten how to use it. Intuition is like a muscle. If we work with it and use it regularly, it will strengthen our life over time. By consistently using a powerful mantra known as the Adi Mantra, we can work out our intuitive muscle. The sound currents of this mantra have the potential to shift your state of wisdom, intuitive knowing, and creative inspiration. It's a short and simple, which makes it easy to remember. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. The act of intentionally and consciously turning in to the space in around you helps to create a demarcation point between what has been past and what will be the future. Energetically tuning in with the Adi Mantra functions with like hitting the reset button where you wipe the slate clean and begin a new. Your intuitive voice cannot be heard in the midst of fear and anxiety. Intuitive wisdom can only come through a calm and grounded mind. The mantra Om, word and wisdom. But we are now considering not these Mahapurushas, the great incarnations, but only the Siddha Gurus, mean teachers who have attained their goal. They, as a rule, have to convey the gems of spiritual wisdom to the disciple by means of words to be meditated upon. What are these mantras? The whole of this universe has, according to Indian philosophy, both name and form as its conditions of manifestation. In the human microcosm, there cannot be a single wave in the mind stuff, mean chitta vritti, unconditioned by name and form. If it be true that nature is built throughout on the same plan, this kind of conditioning by name and form must also be the plan of the building of the whole cosmos. Yatha ekena matpindena sarvam unmayam vijnatam syat. As one lump of clay being known, all things of clay are known. So the knowledge of microcosm must lead to the knowledge of macrocosm. Now, form in the outer crust of which the name or the idea is, the inner essence or kernel. The body is a form, and the mind or the antakarana is the name, and Sound symbols are universally associated with the Nama. In all beings having the power of speech, in the individual man, the thought waves rising in the limited Mahat or Chit, mean mind stuff, Chittavritti, must manifest themselves first as words and then as more concrete forms. In the universe, Brahma or Hiranyagarbha or the cosmic Mahat first manifested himself as name and then as form, as this universe. All this expressed sensible universe is a form behind which stands the eternal, inexpressible Spota, the manifestor as logos or word. This eternal Spota, the essential eternal material of all ideas or names, is a power through which the Lord creates the universe. Nay, the Lord first becomes conditioned as Spota and then evolves himself out as a yet more concrete, sensible universe. This Spota has one word as its only possible symbol, and this is Om. And as by no possible means of analysis can we separate the word from the idea, this Om and the eternal Spota are inseparable, and therefore it is out of this holiest of all holy words, the mother of all names and forms, the eternal Om, that the whole universe may be supposed to have been created. But it may be said that although thought and word are inseparable, yet as there may be various word symbols for the same thought, it is not necessary that this particular word Om should be the word representation of the thought out of which the universe has become manifested. This direction of the worshipper's mind is guided by its prevailing elements of tattvas. The result is that the same God will be seen in various manifestations as a possessor of various predominant qualities, and the same universe will appear as a full of manifested forms. Even as in the case of least differentiated and the most universal symbol Om, thought and sound symbol are seen to be inseparably associated with each other. So also this law of their inseparable association applies to the many differentiated views of God and the universe. Each of them, therefore, must have a particular word symbol to express it. These word symbols evolved out of the deepest spiritual perception of sages, symbolize and express as nearly as possible the particular view of God and the universe they stand for. And as the Om represents the Akhanda, the undifferentiated Brahman, the others represent the Khanda or the differentiated views of the same being, and they are all helpful to divine meditation and the acquisition of true knowledge. The syllable Om is the first mentioned in the Upanishads, the mystical text associated with Vedanta philosophy. It has variously been associated with the concepts of cosmic sound, or mystical syllable, or affirmation to something divine, or as a symbolism for abstracted spiritual concept in the Upanishads. In the Aranyaka and Brahmana layers of Vedic texts, the syllable is so widespread and syllable to knowledge linked that it stands for the whole Veda. The etymological foundations of Om are repeatedly discussed in the oldest layers of Vedantic text. The Aitareya Brahmana of Rig Veda in section 532, for example, suggests that the three phonetic compound of Avum of Om correspond to the three stages of cosmic creation and when it is read or said, it celebrates the creative powers of the universe. The Brahmana layer of Vedic text equate Om with Bhur Bhuvaswa, the latter symbolizing the whole Veda. They offer various shades of meaning of Om, such as it being the universe beyond the sun, or that which is mysterious and inexhaustible, or the infinite language or essence of breath, life, everything exists, or that with which one is liberated. The Samaveda, a poetical Veda, orthographically maps Om to the audible, the musical truths in its numerous variations and the attempts to extract musical meter from it. The syllable Om evolves to mean many abstract ideas in the earliest Upanishads. Max Muller and other scholars state that these philosophical texts recommend Om as a tool for meditation. Explain various meanings that the syllable may be in the mind of one meditating, ranging from artificial and senseless to highest concepts such as the cause of the universe, essence of life, Brahman, Atman, and self-knowledge. The Om symbol can never be separated from the thing signified. The Om and the Spota are one. And as a Spota, being the finer side of the manifested universe, is nearer to God and is indeed the first manifestation of divine wisdom, this Om is truly symbolic of God. Again, just as the one only Brahman, the Akhanda Satchidananda, the undivided existence knowledge. Bliss can be conceived by imperfect human souls only from particular standpoints and associated with particular qualities. So, this universe, his body has also to be thought of along line of the thinker's mind. The meaning and connotations of Om vary between the diverse schools within and across the various traditions. It is also a part of the iconography found in ancient and medieval era manuscripts, temples, monasteries, and spiritual retreats, and Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Best practices for Adi Mantra. You can tune in by simply sitting upright and close your eyes, or you can bring your palms together at your heart to form Anjali Mudra, or simply place your hands over your heart, or if you really want to get your whole body into it, you can bow your head to the ground in child's pose like this. Take a few deep, slow breath. Use your breath as a tool to anchor into this moment. Notice the presence of this moment. Bring your attention to the center of your chest and forehead. Imagine a ray of white light circulating through the center of your heart, center, and forehead. Repeat the mantra at least 3 times. Feel the energy of its message. Become intimate with it. Welcome it into your daily life and allow it awaken your intuitive and creative powers and inner guidance. Keep in mind, these are powers you have had all along. You are just tapping into it now. This mantra can help you stay connected to your power and help you cultivate inspiration so you can unleash your creative genius. The earliest mantras were composed in Vedic Sanskrit in India and are at least 3500 years old. At its simplest, the word Om serves as a mantra. It is believed to be the first sound which was originated on the earth. Om sound, when produced, creates a reverberation in the body and mind to be calm. In more sophisticated forms, mantras are melodic phrases with spiritual interpretation, such as a human longing for truth, reality, light, immortality, peace, love, knowledge, and action. Some mantras without literal meaning are musically uplifting and spiritually meaningful. The use, structure, function, importance, and types of mantra vary according to the school and philosophy of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Mantras serve a central role in Tantra. In this school, mantras are considered to be a sacred formula and deeply personal ritual, effective only after initiation. Thus, Omkara and mantras are occupied an exalted place in our Indian culture and tradition. Om Shri Kantai Kalyananade Nidetram Shri Venkatanivasaaya Srinivasaya Mangalam Mangalasasana Premadacharya Progami Sarvesha Purvairacharya Satkrutāyastu Mangalam.